You just need to sing them out loud from deep down and just let it out. Thank you, Rhino. Don't forget you can listen to Good Things on SuperTalk.fm. You can listen to us. We're streaming from the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and you can also find us on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. Our guest, Colin, had no idea he was being set up for that kind of introduction today, but he's the director of School of Music there at the University of Southern Miss, so he could appreciate, I guess, a good Aretha moment. And they've got plans. They're going to do a lot of upgrading there at the Bennett Auditorium on campus, thanks to a new Gret. So welcome, Colin.
Thank you, Rebecca. My pleasure to be here. And I can't think of a better way to be welcomed than with a little Aretha. You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. I don't know if she ever made it to sing or perform there at Southern Miss, but she would have been awesome there at the auditorium had she ever had the chance. So this is cool. Congratulations. This is a big deal. So tell us what the university is getting to preserve the history there.
Well, thanks so much for that. And it is wonderful news that we received. And it's a grant through the Mississippi Department of Archives and History in the amount of about $235,000. And it's meant to do some preservation work that needs to go on, a little bit of remodeling that needs to go on in Bennett so that it can continue to serve as a centerpiece here on our campus. We're going to do some plaster work inside of the building. We're going to look at redoing some of the windows in the building that are kind of single pane and, letting a bunch of moisture and air and all that kind of stuff pass through them. And there's some electrical work that needs to be done as well. So we're going to try to stretch that $235,000 as far as we can.
So you would have only gotten this if it would have been a historical building. So I was reading where Bennett Auditorium opened back in 1930, kind of set the stage for us on campus in the 30s. What was sort of the purpose or the envision behind it back then?
So Bennett Auditorium has always been sort of a multi-purpose facility for us. And it was that way at that time as well. It is the largest gathering space on campus that's of that nature, an auditorium-style gathering space where we host lectures, and they would have hosted at that time lectures, as well as a bunch of musical performances throughout the years. In fact, very soon after it opened, it played host to the John Philip Sousa Band while he was a conductor of that group. And has played host to many fabulous performers and artists since its inception, but also, wonderful speakers and, our university forum and our Honors College forum. They all use that space for their lectures and that sort of thing. So it's really a wonderful space and multi-purpose for academic purposes as well as musical purposes.
And you have to think these things need a little bit of facelift over the years. She's pushing 100 now, which is kind of crazy to think about, and all the history and all that she has seen. As the director of School of Music, how do you guys still utilize that space? Do you still host performances or have future performances that will be there?
Absolutely. It is central to our performance offerings in the music school. It is the home of the University of Southern Mississippi Symphony Orchestra. And so although their upcoming concert, which is actually tonight, is not there, it's going to be at Main Street Baptist because the stage is just not large enough here at Bennett for what they're doing. Most of their performances do indeed happen in Bennett Auditorium. Also, our university bands use it very frequently. And in fact, several recordings of the University of Southern Mississippi Wind Ensemble from the days of Dr. Tom Friskillo, our Director of Bands Emeritus, and as well Dr. Catherine Rand, our current Director of Bands, have been recorded live on that stage, and they've been released on major record albums and those kinds of things. So it's central to our offerings. We host an annual set of honor band events and choral clinics, and they also use that space as their major performance space. So it is, as I say, central to what we do in the School of Music. It's one of two major performance spaces that we have on campus, it and the Monone Auditorium here in the Monone Performing Arts Center. And for different reasons, people prefer different stages, and the orchestra and the bands really love playing in Bennett Auditorium.
If we're on campus, Colin, where is it? I know I was a student there, but where
Sure.
where's the auditorium?
Absolutely. The auditorium's in the heart of campus, right behind the main administration building, the Dome building, directly behind it, and is one of the historic buildings there located central to campus, easy to get at for all of the folks on campus. There's pretty convenient parking. So it's really centrally located, and I particularly like the fact that our major kind of musical endeavors happen right in the heart of our campus.
Absolutely. And how long do you think the renovations will take?
Well, we're still working on the exact calendar for how all that's going to go. The estimates that I have heard are that it could be down for these renovations for as long as 6 months from the time that they begin. So we're hopeful that we can work out a calendar with the tradespeople who are going to come in and do this work, where we can still make use of the facility periodically while that work is ongoing, and we hope to have an idea about when that work is going to start here in the next few weeks. But it's a major undertaking, and so and with a facility that's used as heavily as Bennett Auditorium is, we want to be careful about when that work happens to make sure that the impact to the campus is minimized.
Well, I hope she gets a facelift, but not too much has changed. I think on all of our universities, one of the best things to preserve is the historic charm that comes with the rich history that's in so many of the buildings, that also gives all the universities their unique sort of character and, I guess charm, too, when you're going to visit or walking about campus. There's something cool to know that you're a part of 100-plus years or whatever it may be. And so that's the Bennett Auditorium to me. It's a beautiful building.
I absolutely agree with you. And, to be able to tell our students who are, they're preparing now for concerts that they're going to give next week, that they're, performing in a band on stage the same way that Sousa's band performed on that stage 100 years ago. I mean, that's just really, really cool. And, of course, this money, would not at all be used to change anything, in any kind of huge kind of altering way. It's to preserve what's there and make sure that it continues to be preserved for a long time.
If anyone wants to see the list of upcoming performances out of the School of Music there at the university, Colin, where do they go?
usm.edu/music. And there's a calendar there that you can see any of our upcoming events.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. And Southern Miss to the top.
To the top. Thank you, Rebecca.
Which they're going to go tonight against, I think, was it State? They're here in Central to play a little baseball. But, I'll leave that up to the experts coming up next on Sports Talk. But the Community Heritage Preservation Grant Program, it was established back in 2001. It has provided over $56 million to help restore roughly 400 schools, courthouses, and other historic properties located in communities throughout Mississippi. That's just the Bennett Auditorium is the latest, or one of the latest here. And